Hey, I'm Bobby.
Hey, I'm Nathan.
And are you ready? Because this could be a podcast.
Nah.
So along the lines of, I'm not saying I was in the Beatles or anywhere close to that.
Oh, you
but
weren't?
No. And again, like meeting Tommy Lee Jones, I would have told you if I was in the Beatles.
Oh, yeah?
Even asked,
Okay.
But the dynamic that the funny dynamic that George Harrison keeps bringing songs to Paul McCartney
Yeah.
and John Lennon, only to have them be like, nah.
Nah.
So we were in a similar dynamic in our band. Everyone wrote songs in
Okay.
the four, at sometimes 5-piece band that I was in. And so, but we had one guy in the band that
Just-
did not write good songs.
Yeah.
And he always wanted to sing the song, and he'd bring a song to the table, and again, it's a collective of people,
Sure.
not like it's not like I've written all these hit songs, and I know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've written a number of songs at this time, but
Sure.
and I think I'm writing pretty good songs. People seem to like them. When we play them, they dance or they don't boo. And
Yeah.
this is nice.
That's the key thing is
or
that
they-
they don't boo.
Or they ask to hear them. That's always a good sign.
Oh, that's
you know?
wild.
Yeah. So those are things. And then the lead singer of the band was also a good songwriter as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then our drummer. Well, I'm going to oust the guy just by naming off all the other instruments and stuff.
All those who have been following Bobby's career closely.
Correct. Yes, exactly. You can look it up on the Wikipedia.
You can slip
Cole,
this
can you
up.
pull up the Wikipedia page?
For what band now?
It's not.
We're
that.
not going to say it.
No, that would give. There's a couple bands. No.
If the drummer's out there listening, you know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the drummer, so he would bring songs. He was a good songwriter as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. Most drummers are insane people. They're
Okay.
crazy. So it's something to do with the rhythm, percussion. Kind of patting your head, rubbing your belly, kind of thing.
Sure.
Wires get crossed, and
Sure.
you can't really function
Sure.
in normal society. And that's pretty proven over time.
Okay.
But he right, Cole?
Yeah, I know one that's.
Yeah, he knows a drummer, and he's nuts.
Is your current drummer insane?
In ways, yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
He wears
Actually-
Crocs year round,
Well, yeah.
so there's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would be a good songwriter, but he would only bring like one song. Like I still think to this day, after 15, 20 years, however long it's been, he's still reworking one song. And it's again, a little crazy.
Yeah, that's
And
not good.
so, but he was a good songwriter, the one or two songs that he brought to the table.
yeah.
And then I'll just oust him. He was our bass player, and he would bring like the most like out of nowhere songs. It did not fit like what the band was.
Yeah.
Like he really liked progressive rock, and we were trying to be a pop rock band for
Sure.
a
Yeah.
radio friendly pop
Yeah,
rock
yeah,
band.
yeah.
If I had to categorize it, it would be
Yeah.
you're like more Matchbox 20 than Rush.
Sure, sure.
But we could like to blend them.
Not bubblegum pop.
Not bubblegum pop. No.
That's what I really wanted you guys to be.
Yeah, well, if we would have got to the third album, I think we would have switched.
you would have gotten there.
Yeah, it's the fifth album that you really gotta kind of straighten up so you can get that new deal. But so he would bring all these songs, and he always wanted to sing, and he did not have a good voice, and
Aw.
so it's just you're walking on eggshells, and I can sympathize. One of the few reasons I can sympathize with Paul McCartney is that, well, here's the thing, like we have these songs over here that people like to listen to.
Yeah.
And then when you play us these songs, we're like, I don't think it's good. Like I can say
Sure.
that. And so then I think he subtly got the point every once in a while. But he wrote a song that was the same chords as Wagon Wheel. And to his credit, like it wasn't like he heard Wagon Wheel and then he wrote this
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
It was kind of linear thought. Like
Sure.
he wrote this song that was the same exact chords as Wagon Wheel and same feel too. And while Wagon Wheel was also getting popular, and his song wasn't nearly as good, but every time he played it, because he would do solo shows and he'd play out or like in a jam session, he would
Yeah,
at an open
yeah.
mic or whatever, he would play it. And I was just with him long enough to be like, to see the anger in his eyes when someone would be like, oh yeah, it sounds like Wagon Wheel. Like it just became the thing over
No,
and
it's
over.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It sounds like Wagon Wheel. Because it does. I mean, it just
does.
sounds like Wagon, because it is the same chords. I've played the song with him. I'm like, it's the same chords. And
That's funny.
so yeah, it's it's tough being in a band. The band dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is it for you when you're writing a song to like not? How often do you get like, you've been working on a song for a couple hours now, And then it just dawns on you, oh shit, this is total eclipse of the heart, or shit like that.
I fortunately haven't run into that very often, and I think a lot of it comes like to melody as well.
Yeah.
I think, and so I have never really run into it. I'm sure I've done it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I've always started off when I started off writing songs, so like writing in the style of a band that I liked. You know, so like one of the first songs I wrote for this band, Black Bloom. If you guys want to check them out.
Oh, I thought we were going to give it away.
No, there's no, you can't find the music anywhere. So good luck. I mean,
what'd you do with it?
That'd be a good internet sleuth for you to try
Yeah.
to find.
An old MySpace page.
Yeah,
that-
there might be.
I bet there is.
But anyway, so I still am very big into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Love the Chili Peppers, and so I sat down to write a song in the style of the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Sure.
as an exercise to learn how to write songs, and it was. If you can believe it, it was catchy and it was funky and
'Kay.
people liked dancing to it, and it was it's a good song
Yeah.
to this day. But could you be like, oh, that kind of sounds like the Chili Peppers? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But that's what I was going for too. So
Right.
and
right.
it's not like it sounds like that one Chili Peppers song,
So you're not going to get sued by Flea or anything like
Don't
that,
believe
though?
so. If I
Yeah.
would have, it would have happened already.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah.
a sad lawsuit.
That'd be a sad lawsuit.
If Flea decided, here's what I'm going to do.
This Flea in court is just a horrible image.
Flea's heavily litigious to people who never had their dreams come true. He's like, no. I am on top of this mountain.
You're not coming up.
You don't come up.
Yeah.
Nope. And you're number 1,722nd on my list here of people that I got to
that I
take down
got
a
to
peg.
crush right now. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
Listen, we have all seen what happened with baby Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, this is a good segue because about dreams coming true and it's
Yeah.
structure. We're going, so structure can be
Structure?
tied into
Okay.
songwriting as well.
Sure.
Really just threading the
look
needle
at,
here.
Look at you just go segue, man. You're doing it.
Beautiful. So I recently was listening to an old interview of Kevin Costner on the Bill Simmons podcast. I had a
Okay, sure.
I had a long drive this weekend. I had to drive
Yeah.
3.5 hours to
Yeah.
a show and then
Springfield,
drive back.
Illinois.
Springfield.
Gorgeous.
Petersburg, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's Springfield.
It's in between
Yeah.
Peoria and Springfield, and
Yeah.
it's sad for sure. But you got to. It was me myself in the car, so
Yeah.
I'm listening to the Bill Simmons podcast because he's got a nice long form interview.
Sure.
And Kevin Costner comes up, and so I'm listening to Kevin Costner, and he's talking about Bull Durham and the character that Bull Durham was based on. Well, the guy that wrote Bull Durham,
Oh, it was a book?
yeah, but he was a minor league baseball player for a number of years
Okay.
and made it to the show for a little bit. But a lot of Bull Durham is
Yeah.
based around his experience in the minors and
Okay.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's again, right what
Yeah.
you know,
yeah,
kind
exactly.
of thing.
Exactly.
And so, of course, as they're talking about, it, I'm like, God, Bull Durham, really good movie. So
Yeah.
I'm editing last night, and I'm like, sure, I'm gonna put
Pop
on Bull,
on Bull Durham.
pop on Bull Durham, watch it. Fantastic movie. This is where it gets dangerous, though. The suggested movie next after that
Okay.
was Field of Dreams, and I'm like, well, I got a little more work to go. Sure,
You're going to lean in.
I'll press play. But
Kevin Costner baseball double feature.
and this gets to my point though, because Field of Dreams is a movie, and I should have known better. Field of Dreams is a movie you can't shut off. It's
Right.
once you start
Right.
it, it's what makes it a perfect movie.
It's a good movie.
Is because there's no point for you to be like, oh, and now I can shut it off and be fine.
You can shut it off during the road trip.
Did you know though that Bull Durham and Field of Dreams were consecutive movies for Kevin Costner?
I did know that.
I did not know that.
I'm sure Cole knew that because he grew up in Dyersville. So
the
I'm sure
man
it's
likes
integrated
the
into
man
junior
loves
high.
to do like something in the same genre. It's super weird.
Well, it's interesting because listening to the podcast that he had a relationship with Orion Studios, which is the company
Yes.
that put out Field of
Okay.
Dreams. So Orion Studios, though, he didn't go to them right away because he had just come off Bull Durham
Mm-hmm.
and he was supposed to do another movie, and he had to try to get funding for Bull Durham, and he didn't want to go back to Orion because he'd worked with them a number of times.
Sure, sure.
And they also had two other baseball movies that they were doing that year.
Oh my gosh.
Orion was.
Oh
so
my gosh.
1988, I believe, is what the year is, Cole, if you want to.
88, 89.
89.
89 was when Field of Dreams came out.
Wait,
So-
no, 88. I'm sorry.
88.
Oh
I did some research
Okay.
on this. I wanted
All
to
right.
make sure I had this
All right.
stuff because it's insane.
Thought Field of Dreams was first for some reason, but
It's insane.
yeah. Yeah, that's
because-
crazy.
So Orion ends up funding Bull Durham,
Okay.
so they make that, and then or Field of Dreams, one of the two. Whatever. Anyway, there's Orion ends up making 4 baseball movies in 1988,
Okay.
and then they had a backlogged 1982 Kevin Costner baseball movie called Chasing Dreams. that
Oh, I've
they-
never heard of this movie.
Right, and then so it was a forgotten movie.
Yeah,
and
they
I only
just
found this
shelved
by
it.
looking on the
Yeah.
IMDb
Yeah.
page, and it's like so in Costner's filmography. If you look, it's Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and Chasing Dreams,
Oh, jeez.
all in order. And it's like, wait a second, because he looks way younger. It's 1982.
Yeah, yeah.
And he plays like the older brother in Chasing Dreams. Cole, you gotta pull it up because it is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
It's a movie about a guy who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, so he decides, I'm going to try to become a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
And I watched the trailer of it, and maybe
Was Costner the guy who wanted to become a baseball player?
no, he was
No,
the
it was
older
the-
brother.
he was the older brother.
Let me pull it up.
It's not going to
Chasing
work,
Dreams.
Sam.
He's
You can't do it.
He is a baby in this. Holy crap.
Yeah, because it came out in 1982, or it was released in 1982, but he did not. They didn't release it until 1988 or 89. So, like, if you look at his
Yeah.
thing, but let's watch this here because it's.
David Brown plays Gavin. Faced with the dull future of life on the family farm, he has just one dream: to make it to the top in the world of professional baseball.
Well, until you know what it is you want to do, there's more than plenty for you to do around here.
Oh,
The
jeez.
point is, Gavin, to make some decisions for yourself.
God, this looks like shit.
Don't try and please him all the time.
This
Listen,
looks-
kid, I can't teach you how to play baseball. I can only teach you the fundamentals involved. Be up to you to learn how to apply them.
Encouraged
a lot
by
of
his
people
older
say that
brother, played
teaching
by
you how to
Kevin
play
Costner,
baseball
and his
is
coach,
about
Gavin
fundamentals
decides to
and you
go
apply
for
them.
it. He gets a chance to bat a few, and his first hit goes sailing over
this
the
is
outfield fence.
horrible.
His dreams are on the way to becoming reality. Gavin breaks away from his father's cynicism and resignation and takes his destiny into his own hands.
Let's play ball!
There comes a time in everyone's life when they have to take their best shot or face a lifetime of regret.
I'm a scout for the St. Louis organization.
Oh, jeez.
I'd like to talk to you about the possibility of joining our club and playing some pro ball.
That's how it works.
A professional baseball contract?
You're gonna do great.
You ever see your son play baseball? Because I hardly have time enough for myself.
Chasing dreams.
And I love that. So the movie's about his brother, but yet
Yeah.
Costner's on
Costner
the.
is just gigantic, surrounded by gigantic head, surrounded by
He's got a-
baseball imagery. It's great.
A photo that was clearly taken years later, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're just gonna like, oh hey, we have this thing on the shelf. Let's pop this thing in.
It's like swinging for the fences.
So
yeah.
I gotta watch this movie.
Here's the.
I feel like I already did.
I mean, yeah, it's just a horrible, like, over-explaining narration. Also, I love how they have to explain who the actor is and what character he's playing, like, as well, so we don't get confused.
Yeah.
Was he in the movie besides the car scene? That was the only thing I saw of him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have to watch
we
it.
gotta watch it.
But
we gotta
it's
watch it.
starring Kevin Costner on the movie
Jeez.
thumbnail, whatever movie poster. It's starring Kevin Costner, nobody else.
Yeah.
He's, for all accounts, to your point, Cole, he's in the movie in one car scene
Sure,
that we know,
sure.
where he tells him to, yeah, you don't have to listen to Dad all the time.
So this is almost like, I'm trying to remember, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one it is. Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey are
Okay.
in it.
All right.
And it was like, once again, kind of put on the back burner, kind of shelved a little bit. And then they kind of took off and they're like, well, fuck. All right, here we go. We got a film with both of these giant stars in it. So we're going to make them front and center, real big.
Yeah.
Same with Jennifer Aniston in like Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, yeah.
Like,
But
they
she actually has a bigger role in
She's like the main character in that
Yeah.
movie.
She's the main? I don't
Yeah.
think she's the main.
Besides
character.
Leprechaun, of
besides
course.
Leprechaun.
I mean, okay. I don't remember.
Because is that the one? Is that
I think
is
it's
that,
the first one.
It's the first one.
Is that the one with the boobs that
Yes,
are the
and
fans?
not a fan. It was like a lawnmower,
Lawnmower.
up on its side.
I was
And-
distracted by the boobs.
And
I'm
it wasn't.
sorry.
And I remember specifically, those aren't Jennifer Aniston's
They're not.
breasts,
But they're supposed to.
They're
be.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's just so. I thought she wasn't a main character. I don't know. I saw that movie exactly once.
Yeah, me too. For the
when I
boobs.
was like 10 or 11, and that's enough. I had no desire to watch
No one's on the other side of
Leprechaun
this argument,
ever
by the way.
again. Oh, you're not like every
second.
St. Patrick's Day. I watched Leprechaun because it's that
Leprechaun
good. It's a
3.
groundbreaking film.
And Warwick Davis, getting work.
Warwick Davis, that was kind of a low point of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Warwick Davis guy.
Apparently, Hornswoggle from the WWE played him later on.
Wow.
The Leprechaun.
This is just a fountain of
I don't know who
knowledge.
that is.
He was a wrestler that was Vince McMahon's son for a little while on a story arc, which was absolutely absurd.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of retards I wouldn't trust with a potato gun.
Yeah, so the idea of like releasing back-to-back baseball movies, that's a bold move.
4 of them.
4 of them?
4. Orion Pictures did 4.
What are the other
3 or 4.
baseball films like
It was 8 Men Out.
Okay.
It was 8 Men Out, Field of Dreams, and then some Rodney Dangerfield movie that he mentioned. Because then I looked up Bull Durham. I think they might have been the distributor for Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought because Universal Studios is the distributor for Field of Dreams as well. So it must be a co-production or something.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. But again, it's a lot of baseball in 1988, 89.
What was going on in like
8 Men
1985?
Out was about the White Sox, the same
Yeah,
kind of thing
yeah.
as Field of Dreams. And then they also did Rookie of the Year a few years later.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, what was going on in the zeitgeist of baseball in 1985 when all these got greenlit? Anybody?
Well, this goes a little bit to what I wanted to get to.
Okay.
Okay, because this gets into Cole. You have to look this up. I found in this trying to find research on Crash Davis, the fictional but also based in reality kind of player. There was a good Bleacher Report that they put together an all-star lineup of fictional baseball players in a baseball lineup.
Okay.
So Cole, if you can look that up real quick, and I'll got this thing that I want to throw at you because this is a long-standing battle.
I'm curious where Tom Selleck is on this list from Mr. Baseball.
He's on it. Don't worry. Don't worry. If it's the same one. So
Okay.
without rehashing everything,
Okay. All right.
we've had a debate
About.
Field of Dreams being a time travel movie.
Oh. Yeah. Sure.
And you don't believe it is.
I would not put it in a time travel movie. This is a fantasy kind of film, fantasy supernatural film, and not necessarily a time travel movie as compared to something like The Final Countdown or Back to the Future, which are,
Okay. All right.
which are much more
your
science
point
fiction.
is heard. Your point is heard. Okay. The other side of that is that players come back from the 1919s and they
Yes.
play baseball in current day at the time, current day America.
Yes.
So there's some time travel as well. But anyway,
But they here,
yeah,
okay.
we've talked about it before. That's fine.
They know they're dead.
Well, not what's his face, Moonlight Graham.
Moonlight Graham. That's
Moonlight Graham figures it out,
I don't think there's any rules. I think that's the thing about this is that there's no rules.
but that's kind of the beauty of it.
Which-
And this fan theory I found,
Yeah.
is awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
because you want to talk about no rules, and it's really thinking outside the box here.
Okay.
All right, so we don't need to read it all. I will
Okay.
give you a
This
synopsis.
is a giant wall of text.
Yes, I love it that this guy lays out this very in-depth quantum physics, string theory,
Okay.
Field of Dreams theory, basically fan
Okay.
theory.
All
The
right.
first comment is nah.
Guy, here's literally my 4-page dissertation
Yeah.
about the mechanics I think that's happening here.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. I see he's cryogenically frozen, maybe, or something like that. And they get, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then the one below it, responding to the nah comment is, bro, how is he going to write an entire theory and all you say is nah? Which I feel that's the side of the internet we don't normally see.
Nah.
Someone standing up for the person
No, somebody
shitting on
put a lot
everything.
of hard work into this probably cockamamie theory. I don't know.
No.
Oh, you're buying your whole.
I'm not buying all of it. And we don't need to discuss all of it. But
Okay.
basically,
Hit me with the highlights.
there's a thought that that Ray Kinsella, Kevin Costner's character,
Okay.
is in a coma.
Okay.
And so he's imagining all of this stuff. And then the voices are like the people checking in on him and everything like that. So he's hearing those voices and stuff.
So it's all a dream.
In a coma, which just feels a little different.
Which is the same thing.
Well, have you been in a coma?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Little one. Yeah, tiny
Little tiny baby coma?
one. Yeah. There was no dreaming going on, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get to the actual reality is that Ray/Kevin is already nearly dead and is experiencing hallucinations often associated in medical literature with brain death, near-death experiences.
Okay.
Ray/Kevin, we'll just pick one. Ray, is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. Ray Kinsella.
Was very likely in a car crash that sadly caused a traumatic brain injury. He is bleeding out and his brain is dying from oxygen deprivation while surgeons fight to save his life. Right? Love this.
Yeah.
Okay. The voices he is hearing are, in fact, the people near him in the hospital, right next to the bed while the blah, 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 or wherever he is dying in the real world. Therefore, the entire film takes place within this dream fantasy world of semi-consciousness of Kevin Costner's gray matter brain cells, which are very likely being kept at a very low temperature, nearly freezing, while doctors valiantly attempt to save his life. Quantum computers and quantum tunneling devices require extremely cold, close to absolute zero, to operate. So basically, Ray's brain is being held in a state of cryogenic suspended animation until the doctors figure out their next steps. This is symbolized when we see the snow-covered baseball field in wintertime, and Ray is looking out the window at Christmas time. His actions, movements, and speech are slow and lethargic, just like you would expect a car crash brain damage victim.
No.
You're agreeing with the nah?
I'm siding with nah.
No, so it goes on here. It goes on. It gets into the time travel aspects here, which I will.
Okay.
I'll grant you, it's a step.
Yes.
But I think these worlds do actually.
Okay.
There is grounds for debate. Okay. Goes down here to the Interstellar. Okay.
Sure.
To Interstellar.
Okay.
The key point to understanding this science fiction movie is the time travel scene and the scenes of extremely cold temperatures. Whatever. These are hints to the viewer that this is about modern physics, just like the corn/farm baseball scenes in the movie Interstellar are actually about Einstein's law of relativity and gravity. So essentially, Field of Dreams is a prequel to Interstellar. That's what this guy's theory is.
Nah. No, this is like some kind of weird. I don't like throwing this around. But what was this guy smoking?
Hey,
I mean, like
there is a baseball scene in Interstellar. As a lawyer,
there is a baseball
and
scene
there's corn
in Interstellar. However, I don't think that means anything. I think that's just like
no, I don't know.
A symbolism of America's past, like
Maybe.
more than anything.
Maybe.
No, it's my conviction that I would not classify Field of Dreams as a science fiction film.
Oh, why not? I mean, yeah. There's absolutely sci-fi aspects going on.
If you want to throw it in the it's fantasy.
Yeah, you can say fantasy.
It's fantasy, not.
But that's not that far off in
science
Blockbuster,
fiction.
buddy. Science fiction fantasy is right there in the same.
Yeah, no. It's in the same.
It's a sports movie first.
Sure.
It's a long way from being an action adventure. It's an adventure, but it's
sure
not a lot of action.
You're saying there's no like science and God and angels and all that stuff.
Mister?
What? What? I would
Catholic?
say. Are you saying like this is closer? This is closer to Angels in the Outfield than it is.
You're saying there's not science in that too? Come on.
Well, finish your thought.
It's closer to science, Angels in the Outfield, than it is to Interstellar. Even
he was a farmer. There's science involved there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's
no, absolutely.
It sounds ridiculous on its face, but I mean, if you start like naming things,
supernatural with time travel element, but it's not a time travel movie. It's
Moonlight Graham was a doctor that saved a child. There's science there.
Yeah, that's medicine too.
Medical science.
Yeah, there's medical science.
No.
I think one of the things, and I just brought this up for fodder because I find it.
No, this is insane. This is the work of a lunatic.
This
clearly.
is beautiful internet right here.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful internet. Okay?
Somebody took literally hours of their life typing, revising.
But to his point, though, to the point, I guess the overall what he was going for is that this is Field of Dreams is a movie that you can look at from many, many different ways. And that's a beautiful thing of a simple story.
You can sit there. You could say that you could like repurpose it as an allegory,
Yeah.
and like use it as an example of like making an allegory. At
I-
no point do I think whatever was the original writer's Kinsella, his
Yeah.
whoever the guy wrote
Maybe.
wrote Shoeless Joe Jackson
Yeah.
and the Field of Dreams or whatever it was called, the book. At no point was any of this coming into play
But that's
whatsoever.
that's the beauty though of art though is that on the back end of it is when people get to derive meaning from it.
Sure.
You know, whether it was
Yeah.
whether it's meant to or not. It's
Author
there.
intent is a really fun topic. I enjoy that quite a bit.
One of the things they brought up here, and I didn't read it off, but basically they use the intro, which is again, this is why it's a movie you can't shut off.
Okay.
Is that when in the intro when he's explaining his life and his dad
Yeah.
and everything like that, and they're saying that's the obituary. You know, that's getting ready to be written when he's going through his entire life. Which again, film school paper,
Film school paper, sure.
A.
Yeah.
Not maybe not an A plus, but it's a solid
Sure.
A. It's a solid A.
It's a B plus, maybe an A minus.
Hey,
Like I said,
you bring quantum theory and string theory into Field of Dreams, you already got me.
I think honestly, it'd be the best like film essay about this would be a compare and contrast between Interstellar and Field of Dreams. You can sit there and say, look at these touch points. What is it about these like hallmarks between baseball farming and wanting to connect with your children, all of those things. I think you could like.
You're starting to write a pretty good film there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What are
then
the
you
chances
can-
I'm going to watch Interstellar by next week? Probably 90%.
And then also, like, how much could you apply, Coop, flying it throughout the, when he entered the wormhole, he actually died, and this is all some kind of hallucination,
Right.
Yeah, well, I think you could do that pretty much about anything,
Well,
any movie.
and again, I know this is like you in Japan. I recently finished watching Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
and one of the fan theories is, and I
Okay.
do love a good fan theory. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always fun.
It's fun seeing things that
This is just fun, and there's some also other really good fan theories of Field of Dreams about about Moonlight Graham and everything like that. But that's the fan theory though in Breaking Bad is that when he's in New Hampshire,
New
I believe.
Hampshire or Vermont, Cole.
it's
This
New
is your neck
Hampshire.
of works. Live free or die.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
New
that's right.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
Not New Hampster. That's a different thing. New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
So when he calls the DEA at
Yeah.
the bar and he leaves the phone,
Sure.
and then he breaks into the car that's all covered in snow.
Yeah.
He can't find the keys. He's trying
Yeah.
to break. Then the cop car comes. The fan theory is that he was actually apprehended in that car, and then the
Yeah.
rest is him imagining
Having
how
some
it would
kind
have
of fantasy.
how he could have actually made everything right. Again, not defending it, explaining it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't think Vince Gilligan would agree with that, but it's fine.
No.
Yeah, I mean, where are you on author intent? Like, do you understand? Like, when you see like something, and
See, you got the condescending tone in that, didn't you?
Do you understand?
well, no, like,
do you understand? Do you understand that I was just
No,
explaining
no,
something that someone
no.
else came up with? Not saying I
no,
wholeheartedly believe
no,
this.
No,
Okay.
it's more of like, yeah, I'm questioning what's your position on author intent when you read something and you understand what the author was coming from or what they were trying to say.
Okay.
How much weight do you give that?
If I'm watching something,
Yeah.
are you talking about if I'm watching a TV show or a movie?
Any kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anything.
I'm not trying to derive what the what's beyond the actual story is going on right now.
Sure.
I that's for rewatching. That's
Yeah.
for that's a nice thing about a good movie or a good TV show or anything like
Yeah.
that. That every time we've talked about it before, every time you watch it, you see something new
Sure.
and everything like that. And I think a lot of them, especially in TV shows, find purpose along the way. And kind of revisionist with it, but they become later on in seasons start to tie together bows that fans or themselves have seen.
I think there's underlying theories or concepts that are kind of in the initial idea.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely a place that they want to go.
Yeah,
A place, any good story has an end, so you have to know where you want to go. Now, there's so many things that go into like, these fan theories are all based on tone, so you have to deliver the tone, Field of Dreams. And actually going back to that Costner interview, they knew that like they were walking a thin line with Field of Dreams. It could have been a very hokey movie. It could have been Chasing Dreams.
It could have been very hokey, very saccharine, very like just way too syrupy sweet.
Yeah. And so the fact that they got the tone right leads for all this to happen.
Sure.
Because it resonated and it hit.
Yeah.
But if they didn't nail that tone, there's none of this happens. None of this is on the internet. Because I'll tell you this also from extensive research. There's no Chasing Dreams fan theories. There's none. Not a one. Not a one. Not a one. So I think like when I'm watching something or anything like that, a song too, like I want to absorb it. I want to absorb it and watch it or listen to it. Yeah. And then after that's happened, then you can derive meaning from it, whatever that is. And I'm also not looking to do that all the time with the story because I don't think it's there in every story.
Well, and you don't have to. I mean, that's the other thing is you being able to take a piece of entertainment / art and say, oh, this is what it is. This is cheap fodder. And that's what it is. And that's all it's, I mean, I'm not going to give that much thought into it. People sitting there trying to, elevate things that have no business being high art or anything like that. And try to.
But going back to like the tone though of it, like take like Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad are two good examples. Like if they don't nail the tone of those two shows, those fan theories don't exist because I don't think people are watching them.
No, right.
And nor do they have the longevity for people to develop all these things that happen. And then
right.
Did Vince Gilligan know every left and right turn he was going to take from the? He knew it was going to be 6 seasons, and he knew he wanted this. Like, no, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think anybody knows that because you find it along the way.
In fact, Mike Ehrmantraut, he was kind of a filler character because Bob Odenkirk was too busy filming not Two Guys and a Girl. What was bullshit CBS show that Bob Odenkirk was on?
What?
Yeah, he was played somebody's boss.
Is it the ones with the waitresses?
How I Met Your Mother?
He was on How I Met Your Mother for like a while. And so his shooting schedule got locked up. And they're like, okay.
It's a real Sophie's Choice.
I love when How I Met Your Mother gets brought up in this podcast.
He's like, how do Vince Gilligan's, what do I do? I need a stand-in for this element. And that's where Mike Ehrmantraut.
He was only in like a handful of episodes of that show, though.
The scheduling conflict.
Well, scheduling, it's hard. It's hard to do.
Bring up that Costner interview again. If Revenge, his movie that he followed Field of Dreams with, if they had the funding secured, he wouldn't have done Field of Dreams. So
I have no idea what that is.
Revenge. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Also, Kurt Russell was supposed to play Crash Davis and helped write that movie, Bull Durham.
Yeah, with his baseball background, that'd be good.
It's a different movie. It's a different movie. But again, is it a little more overboard than it is Field of Dreams?
Is it more overboard or?
I don't know. Not to take anything away from Kurt Russell, because we love old Snake Blisskins.
Has he done any like truly dramatic stuff?
Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Well, you're saying overboard is not truly dramatic?
Yeah, it's traumatic. It's not.
It's traumatic.
I don't know.
He's only done traumatic work.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's lived an interesting life. I don't know if he's again. Backing into it's kind of like Chasing Dreams. Like I want to be an actor now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. Would you say that the Hateful Eight, not the Hateful Eight, Jesus, Hateful Eight. I was getting it confused with the Ridiculous Six there for a second. And I was like,
which was the intent,
right? I don't know. Would you call that dramatic? I don't know if I'd call that. Is it fully dramatic? I don't know.
Sure.
When I think
why not?
I'm thinking drama. I'm thinking like,
John Malkovich,
somebody dying of cancer or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, no. Of course, it's dramatic work. I mean, there's tension.
Yeah.
There's tense elements.
Yeah, I guess.
There's again, this is what we talk about, the classifications of a movie or an acting genre.
Like, I'm trying to think of a movie that really highlights Kurt Russell like as an actor.
As an actor, I don't know if he's ever been
like
nominated for anything.
I don't think he's been nominated for anything, right? I'm pretty sure.
We'll look it up here.
Yeah, not when he played Santa Claus.
No, that's just a paycheck. That's just nice.
That's a paycheck.
He's nominated for 1 Primetime Emmy.
What was that for?
He's got 9 wins. Hold on, let's pull it up here. It's got a. Let's think here.
Tombstone, obviously, there's one.
Yeah, we're forgetting, and then also Executive Decision. So
And The Thing, I mean, you can consider that to be a dramatic role.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of something that's not
Miracle?
Miracle.
I guess you could probably say Miracle is the most.
Tango and Cash.
I was
Come
going to
on.
say Where Worlds Collide. Also, 3,000 Miles to Graceland. You know, a Costner Russell double feature.
That was not what I thought it was going to be. By the way,
I'd like them to redo 3,000 Miles to Graceland and get it right. Get it right.
Yeah, I think there's
something there.
something there.
This is just like Interstellar and Field of Dreams. There's something there. I don't know like how to
I
exactly
want
drive
to
this car.
say, like, I want like that opened with like a ridiculous CGI like scene. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think that was that, and I'm like, what is happening here? This does not make any sense whatsoever.
Forgetting about a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Backdraft.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, Backdraft is it's not a comedy.
It's no, but also like I'm trying to like X out action.
Yeah, well, Backdraft we can get rid of. It's not a time travel movie.
Stargate. God, you know what? That scene where he's holding a gun, contemplating whether or not to kill himself at the beginning of the movie, is it's pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, kind of a time travel movie.
And he's also been in a lot of Fast and the Furious movies. I forgot about that.
How did you forget?
Family.
Because he's Mr. Nobody in the movies, so.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus, stop.
I am so glad that I have given up on that series before Kurt Russell showed up and started cashing a paycheck at all.
Did you find that fantasy lineup of All Star?
I have 2 different lineups.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Bleacher Report from like
I'm doing Bleacher Report
long
yes.
time ago.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That was the better one.
Okay.
Starting the lineup, Speedy Guy.
You want a speedy guy on the top of the lineup?
Oh yeah, you want a speedy
that's
guy.
usually how baseball works.
Yeah. Good
listen,
contact. You know.
I thought it was just about getting
on base.
Getting on base
and
is
being
so much
fast.
more
Yeah.
important than who's fast.
We're going to be here forever. if this
William
is it.
Mays Hayes.
There you go.
from,
There you
what's
go.
it called?
Major League.
Major League. Yeah.
You did it. All
Yeah,
right. I don't
okay.
think you have to guess all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. But the
All right,
second one
second-
is starting at shortstop. One of my favorites, Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Is he really that good?
Yeah,
Because
he
it's
was-
not like we really see him.
He made it to the
He made
majors.
it to the pros.
Yeah, but there's
He stole home to end the movie.
Pretty sure he was a pinch runner though. I don't know. Like it wasn't a storied career.
okay.
That's kind
Okay.
of
Okay.
movie I've
Third-
never seen, Mr. 3000.
Oh, you've never
Mr.
seen
Bernie Mac. Listen, America.
I love Bernie Mac too.
Bernie Mac.
You should watch that movie just because it's a perfect world of like early 2000s. Like, hey, we're gonna work with the Milwaukee Brewers. I guess they need help.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, sure. We'll just have a bunch of Milwaukee Brewers gear everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bernie Mac didn't do any training whatsoever. It's
Oh, I'm sure.
hilarious. Like,
I have no idea. Did he have a really ugly swing?
oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
brutal.
Yeah,
It's supposed to
love
be hitting 3,000 hits.
yeah.
Career.
He gets on base.
Do you remember the plot of Mr. 3000, Cole?
I haven't seen it.
No.
It's a movie I've never seen, but I know the plot of it for some reason.
One of his hits got taken away, so he
Three
was,
of them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
3 or 4.
Yeah. So he had to come back. Anyway, so
Rex T-Rex Pennebaker.
Who the fuck's that?
They have his numbers. He was roughly hitting 330 with 50 home runs.
oh, that's the guy from Mr. 3000.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like
okay.
the stud. That's what it was. Again, I've only seen that movie once while I was working at Mr. Movies. Shout out.
You don't want to have whoever the big guy was from Major League,
Not Muto.
or was it Rookie of the Year? Also,
Jobu.
yeah.
President, the president from.
Oh no, I'm thinking
24.
about like the guy that had what's his name's number the whole time.
the guy from New York.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember his name, but
yeah. You know what I mean?
no.
Yeah. Hitting cleanup is
DH from The Natural.
The Natural.
Roy Hobbs.
Roy Hobbs.
okay.
Have you ever seen The
I
Natural?
never watched The Natural.
I tried to watch it like
Yeah.
within the last few years because it's a baseball movie.
Yeah,
I'm like, sure.
And
yeah,
you
I
like
should watch
baseball movies?
could not fucking stand it. And it might just be one of those aged out, you know.
It was fine when I was a kid watching it with my dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your grandpa sitting on grandpa.
Every male part of your family has to come and watch The Natural with you.
Movie that I've been trying to find for a very long time on
PCU?
Any streaming service.
Yeah.
Little Big League.
Oh, yeah.
Lou Collins, the first baseman, played by
Timothy
your
the
boy.
Busman, friend of the show, right?
Yeah.
It's Timothy Busfield.
Oh, okay. Little Big League?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's about a kid that
manages like the
he
twins, right?
inherits the team from his grandfather.
Yeah.
and
His
then he
dad,
becomes
his
the
grandpa
manager.
was the owner.
I think I watched like half of that at a sleepover one time, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson are featured in it as well, which is pretty fun.
Wow.
It's a pretty big deal for Minnesota at that time.
Okay.
So he's batting 5, Tim the Busman?
Yes.
All right.
One I disagree with because you could have Crash or Jake Taylor from,
I know.
but Dottie Henson from A League of Their Own.
Jake Henson? Who's Jake Henson?
Dottie Henson.
Dottie.
No, Crash was...
Crash Davis and Jake Taylor from
Yeah,
Major
who's
League.
Jake Taylor?
Jake Taylor's from Major League.
Oh, Bernthal?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, yeah.
Not Bernthal, but we know who you're talking about.
Yeah, not Jay... Not Jay
Tom-
Burchell.
Tom
Berenger.
Tom Berenger.
I was like, what are you trying to ask right now? I'm so confused.
We got it.
Okay. All right.
So you went with, they went with
Dottie.
Dottie.
Young, spry woman. You know?
I won't argue it. She could play.
Yeah.
She was basically Caitlin Clark.
A little bit Mary Sue, sure. I mean, listen.
Gina Davis can bat. So
And also,
We all know this.
here's the, like, she knew how to work the crowd. She understood what she had to do. Like,
Yeah. She'll put butts in the seats.
Tom Berenger, like, his shoulder was fucked.
His knee was fucked.
I thought it was shoulder.
It was his knee.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, he's a catcher. They all hurt.
his knees. His
Yeah.
knees, plural.
It was his
yeah.
knees,
Yeah.
yeah, because he couldn't run. All right, so we got catcher,
Okay.
6th spot. Now we're in the 7th spot.
One of my personal favorites from Angels in the outfield, Ray Mitchell, who was the only player that didn't need Angels to help him hit.
I do love that you had that. I don't know. What position did he play?
He played third base. And
Okay.
the famous scene is they pinch hit him for Adrian Brody, young Adrian Brody.
Oh, no shit.
Who was a utility player that couldn't hit.
Yeah.
And
The
the
Angels helped him out.
whole crowd freaks out because he's the only player that can hit, and they sub him for a guy that only plays defense.
Got to listen to the Angels, man.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Again,
all right.
You got
Angels
an
in-
angel with you.
Yeah. The tone of Field of Dreams could have been much more Angels in the outfield
Yeah.
than Interstellar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
on a-
that's what I'm saying.
On a chart here, this crazy fan theory
Right.
is getting there.
No.
Nah.
Nah.
It's not.
Nah.
It's not.
Nah.
Okay, go on.
Kelly Leak from Bad News Bears.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
I
really
have
remember
no
that
idea.
movie.
Oh, Walter Matthau and Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly was the boy. He had long hair, and he was a real. What do they call
Real
it? Latchkey
son of a
kid.
bitch.
Latchkey kid. You know, he
Okay.
rode around on a bicycle. Oh no, he had a motorcycle.
Oh, well.
He had
fuck.
a motorcycle when he was
Little moped or like
kid.
full motorcycle?
Full on motorcycle.
Oh, jeez.
And he'd drink your beer, and he'd be a real. But he could really play baseball. And Walter Matthau,
Yeah.
he was a real surly drunk, in charge of children.
I only watched the Billy Bob Thornton version, so
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, I have not watched any of them ever. Maybe half an hour, like in passing.
Yeah, I'm not
on a
going to
Sunday
defend Bad
afternoon.
News Bears as good or bad. I think that's just a time and place. It was always funny to listen to.
Yeah, Walter Matthau swear at children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long? I think they made a sequel of that one too. So, how long do you want to
Yes.
carry that? But I
Did they go
agree-
to Tokyo?
I think they did. They did. Do they? Did they say what position he plays?
he was a center fielder,
He was center fielder.
but they're pushing him to right.
Okay.
because
Okay.
of
Well,
positioning
yeah, if
here.
you can play center, you can play them all.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. It's a big field.
You got to know. You got to be the lieutenant. Anyway, go on. What's the next one?
You're never. I'm going to go ahead and
Never?
guarantee that I'm the only one that's ever seen this movie.
Okay.
Fast and Furious made a baseball movie.
I'd watch that.
Can you imagine just how shitty that'd be? Oh,
I live my life one pitch at a time.
Jesus. I'm gonna steal second.
Family.
I don't have friends. I have teammates.
Wow, it kind of writes itself. Holy
It
shit.
does. Oh. And it's the World Cup or whatever it is.
The World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic, and they have to substitute for like Ecuador or some horse shit like that.
Well,
so
they
they can,
accidentally hijack a baseball team bus. That's
We're gonna need a team.
all right. Who's the last character instead of the shitty Fast and Furious movie?
At second base from the movie Summer Catch,
Oh no!
Mickey Dominguez.
Is that
is that Eddie Prince Jr.?
He
Freddie
was,
Prinze
he was
Jr.?
he was a pitcher in that movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was played by Fez.
Oh,
really?
William Valdemar Valderrama.
Wilmer Valderrama, yes.
I got there. I don't agree with that.
No, I'd never watched that movie ever.
No, thank you.
Who's pitching?
Yeah, the pitching.
Bingo Long. Never saw that movie.
What's that?
Bingo Long, Traveling All-Star and Motor Kings. That's
Wow.
it's Billy D. Williams. I did see that from the other list.
Okay.
Okay. You're not getting the Rookie of the Year?
No, it's a 5-man rotation. You're getting
His character was loosely based off of Satchel Paige.
Okay. All right. I've never seen that.
Okay.
movie.
Steve Nebraska, who's a good, multi-talent
scout.
player.
Yeah. That's
He could hit and pitch.
Brendan Fraser.
Brandon Fraser?
Brendan Fraser, and is it Mel? It's not Mel Brooks. It's Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks.
Is his-
and he ended up gambling all of this guy's money away.
Yes.
Yes, in the sequel that no one saw.
There was a sequel
No, I'm
to
kidding.
the Rookie?
But he sold it. No, The Scout.
The Scout. I'm sorry.
And again, another baseball movie that was, I think that was like 92 or something like that. That was.
I did figure out all the movies that came out in like a 6-year period, and it's a ton.
A ton of baseball
A
movies.
lot of baseball.
Yes.
Well, so what was happening, once again, what was happening in baseball prior to that where it was trying to like push it further into the pop culture zeitgeist?
I
that-
don't know if they just had like a plethora of stars. Like if it was a good, is this more of like a Mark Wahlberg plays a good guy from Boston, so let's just make him a guy from Boston in every
but-
movie?
yeah.
Because Kevin Costner can play a baseball player, and he likes doing it.
And somebody in a post-apocalyptic world as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone from the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just curious what's happening with baseball. Like, was
Yeah.
baseball in the doldrums at this point?
I mean, you're looking at
After-
the Bash Brothers. I mean,
after-
the
yeah.
Dodgers had just won a World Series with Kirk Gibson around that
Yeah,
time.
I-
I mean, he wasn't suffering. And I think there's an added point to the Field of Dreams movie where they were making this in that Costner podcast.
Yeah.
The Codcast, maybe? No. Anyway. That baseball was still seen as like an all-American, like it had the traits of America
Yeah.
within it. You know,
Okay.
it represented what America could be and what people in America could be.
Yeah.
And the idea, it embodied that at the
Okay.
time. And that's what, because like James Earl Jones's speech at the end of Field of Dreams,
It's a nice speech.
it's a great speech.
Yeah.
But it's reiterating all of those traits and those facets that of American life, or like desirable American traits.
Yeah.
You know, that you would like to carry on. Now, since then, there's been steroids and cheating and all this other stuff that's gone on. That's kind of sullied baseball's name, but cheating's always been a part of baseball, much like, not everything in Americans' history has
Yeah.
been awesome. So, I don't know.
I find it interesting, because how many of these movies feature real baseball teams, real MLB teams? Most of them, right?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, not necessarily this era. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the White Sox. I mean, they're all using
And it was
stuff.
Indians, the Angels, the
Yeah.
Cubs,
yeah. I mean,
The Twins,
the Twins,
the Brewers.
yeah, they were all like real teams.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a real
Football.
a movie where like
Draft Day.
a real
Costner.
football team has been featured outside of Draft Day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
You don't
of
get a lot.
of any of them. Really.
Now, to be fair, though, too, like if we're talking, especially like Little Big League, the Twins were a shit team at that time. So that was a
Yeah.
great marketing thing for them. The Brewers as well with Mr. 3000.
the Cubs,
All
Yeah,
the
the
time.
Cubs at that time.
Cleveland,
Yeah. You have,
forever.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you have teams that are struggling that it makes sense,
Yeah.
So
the Angels, actually.
Yeah.
the Angels, yeah, it's not like it wasn't 2001.
I mean,
Tim
they
Salmon.
had Jim Edmonds. That was pretty sweet.
Not at that time, though.
Yeah. this-
94, yeah, they had Jim
But this
Edmonds.
is weird, right? How like NFL is
Yeah,
not
no.
licensing their movies whatsoever outside of Draft Day.
Yeah. It's a very interesting point. I don't have any interest to it.
Yeah, it's like I mean, any given Sunday, completely fake. All teams
fake
fake.
teams.
The replacements.
Replacements, all fake teams.
Right.
I was like, once again, I watched Focus, starring Margot Robbie and Will Smith as con artists, and they went to the Super Bowl,
Where be your nutcracker?
and there was not any. It was the Super Bowl, and they did not feature NFL teams.
So there's a bunch though. Jerry Maguire.
Oh yeah, Jerry Maguire. They're the
It was
Arizona
the
Cardinals.
Falcons, Arizona Cardinals. That's right. Right.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
There you go.
Got me there.
Yep. Is Ace Ventura a sports movie? Kinda.
It kind of is a little bit.
And then American Underdog, but that's really about it.
Oh yeah. We try not to talk about
Yeah.
American Underdog on this podcast.
Paul, you've got reservations that have nothing to do with Kurt Warner and his fantastic career.
I have no qualms with Kurt Warner. I have no qualms.
Yeah.
But I do with that dog shit piece of movie. Can we finish the baseball list, then we can get back on this one?
So the third pitcher, Nuke from Bull Durham.
Nuke from Bull Durham, Tim Robbins' character.
Okay.
You should watch Bull Durham.
I've watched Bull Durham.
Okay.
It's a fine movie.
I think probably the best Kevin Costner baseball movie, Billy Chapel from For the Love, of, the Game.
Here's a solid question, Cole. When was the last time you watched For Love of the Game?
Probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
Oh man, because the baseball scenes are great. Everything else is dog shit. Like I love
I think that
Costner.
was an Al Gibbs watch, actually.
Like if you cut all of the shitty fucking romantic drama out of For Love of the Game, it's still a good movie. It's still about a guy pitching a perfect game and stuff like that, but the acting is so horrible in that movie.
Who's the love interest in For Love?
Some blonde.
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston.
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yep.
Interesting.
He is absolutely right.
I've never watched that
It's
movie.
really
for
bad.
good reasons. Trouble with the
Also-
Curve, I did watch.
Features the Detroit Tigers.
I don't
So,
know why.
Another team
I
that
did, but I did.
I think For Love of the Game is better than Trouble with the Curve. But that's only because I have reservations.
You have reservations about Justin Timberlake.
And Clint Eastwood.
Oh, really?
Don't forget about Clint.
Yeah, what's your problem with Clint Eastwood?
I don't think he's a very nice guy. I don't know.
You don't think he's a nice guy? No. You think he's a gruff old man?
Yeah. Well, he is an old man. I saw a recent picture of
Yeah.
him. I don't wish death upon him, but
Yeah. No? All the Dirty Harry films you haven't?
no.
No.
No, I think he's a very one-note actor. I think he's a better director than he is an actor, for sure. But I don't think that's
sure.
saying much.
Sure.
All right, let's finish
'Kay.
this list.
Henry Rowan Gardner.
Boom, there you go.
Who the fuck's that?
Oh, come on, Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's his name?
Is dumb because he was the closer, but
Well, they put him as the closer? No, he was a starting pitcher.
no, he was a closer in the movie.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, first off, the other thing too, Cole, and we can look this up, but he also has a surgery to like repair his arm, and he can't throw fast anymore after the movie.
Yeah, you're
Right?
saying we're getting him in this prime.
We're getting him in his prime. Yeah, absolutely. He was a starter.
Keep in mind, think about this. He only had like one at bat in the entire movie. It's because he was a relief pitcher.
Yeah, it's true.
And that was the rule back then, is they couldn't have him, hit. He would get killed for sure.
Yeah.
We could pinch hit, but yeah, they needed to keep him in. Anyway, I always thought like Gary Busey should have been on this list. By the way, we can say that, right?
Well, and think about the last game as Gary Busey started the game, and he
Yeah, but that's the playoffs. I mean, you get
playoffs.
You're getting a bunch
you're
of
getting
people
in the rotation. It's
You're throwing your fifth starter into the bullpen in the playoffs. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, go on.
And then they have Rick Wilding as their closer, and Crash Davis on the bench, and then a bunch of other players that I'm just not going to list because you're not going to know who they
Okay.
are.
Crash Davis on the bench, which makes sense because
Sure.
he was a minor league player. And then Charlie Sheen's character from
yes. Yeah.
I didn't know if you needed context.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Who's the manager? That's the real question.
They do have the manager. They
I'm
do.
going to guess Lou Reed, but
Lou Reed?
Lou Reed, like the musician.
I don't think.
they got a bunch of backup players too that I didn't see.
Yeah.
So Jack Elliott from Mr. Baseball,
See, this is where they had.
Jimmy Duggan, Tom Hanks's character from A League of Their Own.
Yep.
Why would you want him as your manager?
Why? Because he was the manager for a League of Their Own. Well, their description is Tom Hanks. Enough said. Which I feel that's part of the reason why I don't like Tom Hanks is that people can just say that and that's
He was a horrible manager.
No, they won they went to the championship.
There was like 6 teams in the league.
Hey, Ted Williams batted 400 when there was 8, man. Like, times are different.
I like Phil Brickman from
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. What is that actor's
Brickman.
name?
I have
The guy from Home Alone, Daniel Stern,
Daniel
who
Stern.
directed Rookie of the
He
Year.
wasn't the manager though. He was like,
He was a hitting coach.
yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Stern, he did direct Rookie of the Year.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
He did a great
And
job.
that was like, because I have rewatched that, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Did you sit your kids down and
I
or
was
did
like,
you just
hey,
watch it
I
by
was like,
yourself?
hey, kids, hey, let's watch a movie. And it's like, yeah, sure, we'll watch this. I enjoyed this as a child. And then everybody slowly got up and left. And I'm like, and now I'm just sitting here watching Rookie of the Year by myself because
that's
it's
I don't
fine.
know whether to take it out on you for being a bad parent or your kids or just not
No, or
appreciating.
just like baseball not being exciting or something they care about whatsoever.
He fucking has a rocket arm. Okay.
Yeah, and the doctor says funky butt loving. It's fine.
Well, does the doctor say it or does I always thought Daniel Stern?
The doctor says it.
Does
Yeah.
does he?
Funky butt loving.
Did he just say funky butt loving?
Yeah.
Oh, that's from a
Yeah, whatever
movie.
happened to that kid? Remember him? Because he was also like John Connor's best friend in.
Oh, the redhead kid?
Yeah, in,
he was on
T2.
Salute Your Shorts.
He was on Salute Your Shorts?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened to
Kid
that
that
guy.
says funky butt loving was a chubby, blonde-haired kid.
We forget that Cole watches all of these movies almost on a monthly basis. Like,
I just remember them.
You
I
should-
watched these a lot as a child.
Yeah.
you should, because let's go back. We'll figure this out. Salute Your
Okay.
Shorts.
Salute Your Shorts.
I don't think that kid was in Rookie of the Year. I think he might have been in a different baseball movie.
Here's a question
'Kay.
for both of you while I look this up.
Yeah.
All right. I was recently asked this question.
Okay.
If you could pick a TV show
Okay.
from your childhood
From my childhood.
to live in the world of the TV show, what would it
Ooh.
be?
Ah,
What would it be? Cutoff is high school. So if you watched it in high school or if you discovered it in high school,
it's
you're out.
too late.
You're out.
As a child.
Yeah. Mine was Salute Your Shorts. I chose Salute Your Shorts because it's constant summer camp. I mean, you're just having fun with your friends. Danny Cooksey is the guy's name. He played
Okay.
Budnick in Salute Your Shorts. He was in Terminator 2.
Yeah. Was he in? He was in.
I'm looking.
He
it up
was
here.
on
You think about your
Rookie of the Year.
You think about it. I'll get the answer.
As far as television shows I would want to live in. Oh.
It's an interesting question.
Been about 92 there, Bob.
Yeah, I'm looking, buddy. I'm not seeing it. That's what I'm
Not
just trying
Herman's
to make
Head. Not Married with Children.
Maybe with children could be fun.
I don't think it would be.
Depends on if you're
Yeah.
watching it. You know, we recently found out with our foreign television endeavors that Married with Children has been remade throughout the entire world.
There's several Married with Children, which makes sense. People, living in dysfunctional homes is a constant across this great big
Yeah.
planet of ours.
Danny Cooksey, he was not in Rookie of the Year.
Who was he in? Wasn't he in?
Was he in Little Big League? No, that wasn't him either.
No.
I'll keep looking up
You
this. You
something.
answer the
I'm trying to-
question.
What television show would I want?
Now
to
it's getting
live in?
contentious.
Oh, jeez. I don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of,
Cole, do you have an answer?
Sex in the City.
I
You
don't
weren't
think you were
watching
watching
that
Sex
in
in the City.
high
Your
school.
parents didn't even have HBO.
Maybe like that 70s show.
Okay. That's not a bad answer.
Although that's probably pretty similar to what my life actually was,
Sure.
except not in the 70s.
and not in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here. Not Seinfeld. I don't think I'd want to live in Seinfeld.
You wouldn't want to? Why not?
Unless I'm Jerry Seinfeld.
I think Kramer had it pretty good.
I would live as Kramer, I suppose. But yeah, if I'm Jerry Seinfeld and I've got a different girl every week and, I'm traveling the world with my comedy and living okay.
It wasn't that you're a character. You are yourself.
In the world. Yeah, I don't want to
You're-
live in New York in the mid-90s because I know what happens on 9/11. And that's...
There's got to be a way to make money off that.
There's got to be a way to
I mean,
make
Dick
money.
Cheney found out a way. So
Golly, I'm trying to think of a good television program from my youth. Not Batman the Animated Series. That was one of my favorite.
you wouldn't want to live in Gotham.
No, there was all kinds of crime. In fact, there was a guy wearing a mask as a vigilante trying to stop crime, but also committing crime.
Can I be whoever I want in this world, or
No, he said you got to be you.
You are you. in
oh,
this.
that makes things way less fun.
Well, that's a whole different question. If you could be a character from a TV show, who would you be? I mean,
Happy Days?
Like if I picked Fresh Prince of Bel Air, do I get to live in the house with everybody?
I guess.
Yeah.
You're at least in Bel Air.
yeah, you're in Bel Air,
So
you're doing well.
so I'm doing
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah. Is that it?
I mean, another choice.
Not Little House on the Prairie.
Another choice that crossed my mind was Full House. That would have been not modern day San Francisco. That's a hellscape.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, 2-story house,
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks,
Yeah, I don't know.
X Files.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something where it's just like, I want to live here forever.
that's where I go salute your shorts. It's just
Yeah.
it's summer camp. Yeah, it's summer camp. Hey Dude was another show where it's a dude ranch.
It's a dude ranch.
You know?
That's a program I've
but
never
they
watched.
were working. You know,
No, they were, and you don't want to do that, even though you're familiar with horses.
yeah, but you don't want to. I mean, you don't want to constantly have to work. I mean,
Yeah.
salute your shorts. You're at summer camp. Your job is to go
Sure.
and play pickup game of football. Saved by the Bell was another thought that went through my mind.
Yeah.
But then you're constantly at school. That kind of sucks.
And Mr. Belding
But you do have
is
a
a
chance.
real drag.
You do have a chance to get Kelly Kapowski though, which
You-
the more I think about it, that's probably
The juice is worth the squeeze.
the
there.
juice is worth the squeeze. Yeah, I feel if I could have like whatever kind of fever dream that Kevin Costner was in,
Sure.
where you just have constant chances to. It's Groundhog's Day in Saved by the Bell,
Yeah.
and you have your only goal is to have sex with Kelly Kapowski. Could you figure it out? Could you, figure out a
if
way-
it's a Groundhog Day situation,
if you could figure out a way to get around Zach Morris's schemes all the time?
and because also Zach Morris is able to control time as well.
That's
so
true.
That's
This is a whole
that's
thing.
an added problem.
Saved by the Bell gets dark real quick because you're just like, I'm killing him today. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna kill him. I'm
I'm
gonna wake up in the morning. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
kill
Zach Morris. I'm gonna hide the body long enough so no one gets suspicious.
Right. I'm gonna write a note that he went somewhere.
I don't think his parents cared enough, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, his parents
no.
are pretty absentee, right?
Yeah, I think he only lived with his dad.
I know.
I don't-
Were they divorced? No, I remember seeing his mom around.
We didn't see the parents nearly enough, especially when he had like a house party. Or
I
anything
think
like
that's
that.
I think that's the case with all like television, right?
Well-
all children's.
But you know, you see Zach Morris make. There's that Zach Morris's trash.
Yeah.
Theme. So he's done enough. Like you can warrant killing Zach Morris because he's been a piece of shit.
He's been a piece of shit
Yeah,
He fucks his friends over constantly.
constantly.
Yeah. So
What about like Melrose Place? I feel like I'm getting laid for sure on that show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why were you watching Melrose Place as a child?
I never did. I've never
So
seen
you're
it.
I
lying
never
to us
watched
now.
Melrose Place.
Golly.
Yeah.
Just say Arthur and be done with it.
Maybe Boy Meets World to try to get into Topanga.
There you solid choice.
No, except for Topanga, I think it was made clear that she is not.
She was a virgin until she
she's-
got married.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. This is not a Kelly Kapowski situation, although I would try with Topanga.
Yeah.
But I mean, just Boy Meets World. That's just that's a nice, safe world. You're
You'd
in
have
what,
fun.
Pennsylvania?
Sure.
I think they were in.
Eric
Yeah.
would crack you up every day.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you know the characters?
I wouldn't want to deal with Sean's bitching all the time, but
Well, he comes from a broken. That's the other side of town. Okay, you got to know that. You know,
Not.
you don't want to live in
not
Sean's
Home
house.
Improvement.
Home Improvement would be fine too.
Yeah.
Roseanne would be less than desirable.
Roseanne. Yeah, Rose. I want to. Roseanne. Maybe Three's Company. I'm trying to think of like other. You know what? Tell you what.
Did you get an answer finally?
It's probably going to be the Andy Griffith Show. You know, just
my-
a real.
I think this says a lot about
No,
personally, like your personality. Like your top two choices have been Happy Days and the Andy Griffith
I don't
Show.
know. I'm just trying to think of something that's like not a hellscape. That like
Boy Meets World.
Well, no, like I don't want to. No, that's not like some magical thing. I guess I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I'm just saying, Happy Days was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Andy Griffith is like it's fine.
Oh no, I think there was some sincerity to your Happy Days.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hanging out with the Fonz, And I don't know if I ever saw him in school. There's
No,
that.
they never went to school.
Yeah.
No.
I'd go get my hair cut by Floyd the Barber in old Mayberry, USA.
All
You know, just talking with all the people down there. I don't know.
If the world became a hellscape, like let's say something happened. Something in
Yeah,
our current
yeah.
day, we're not in
Yes.
Happy Days, we're not
Yes.
in Andy Griffith,
Yes.
we're not at
Yes.
summer camp. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to bang Kelly Kapowski.
You'd try.
I'm gonna try. Still to this day, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. If you're listening, here's my number.
Okay.
How long do you think it would take for our society to de-evolve into insanity?
Pretty quick.
Put a time on it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like
Do you think we'd last a week? Like, let's say
I would say
a solar flare.
Solar flare knocks out
out.
electricity. I would say 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks before a full shutdown of full martial law, or complete breakdown of social fabric.
Cole, you got a thought?
I probably 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks. I think the first week, I think we're okay. We're going on as is, hoping we're just waiting for things to turn on.
Yeah.
Second week, I think we're going to see some light looting. And third week, where it's going to get, by the end of that third week, all the crime and stuff, every man for himself, is going to get to the point where police officers just give up at that point.
So I think it's quicker.
Yeah.
I think it's quicker because I think it's a week. I think at best we have a week. Because if it's a solar flare and it knocks electricity
all
out,
electricity out.
I'll give you a day. All right. There's a day of oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right, second day doesn't get fixed. Now all of a sudden the shit in your refrigerator is starting to go bad.
Yeah.
You don't have your phone to distract you or your TV to distract you or internet
Sure.
or anything like that. Now, idle's hands are the devil's playground. All right.
Yeah.
So you get all these people that now food insecurity is already something. So now, by the time you're getting to day 4, day 5, these people haven't eaten. They can't go out and buy food. They're not what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I think I would love it to be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But I think it's a week.
No, I think that,
Now, the other question is,
yeah.
how long are you surviving?
How am I?
How long?
How long?
It's not a matter
all
of
of it,
if.
forever.
You're surviving the entire thing.
Listen, I've got
Talking
those,
to the guy that thinks he could kill a bear.
Wrestle,
So
fight a bear.
Yeah, I can fight a bear. I can fight
You
a
didn't
bear
say
off.
kill a bear.
I can fight a bear off.
You can fight a bear off. But point taken,
yeah,
Cole.
yeah.
Point taken. Yeah.
It is my belief that all the food in my house, we have enough to last a month with what we have on hand.
But looters, though.
But also
We're talking week 3.
week 3, honestly, I'm out
situation.
of town. I am abandoning all social centers. I mean, big cities, anything. I'm going out in the middle of nowhere. I've already got my spot. I know where I'm going,
Okay.
and I can get there pretty quickly.
How many tanks of gas?
Huh? Oh, it is within a day and a half walk.
So you're not taking a car. You're
But
walking?
no. I mean, we can take all 3 of our cars and drive there in a caravan in a way to get out of town without using all back roads. I know how to get there. It is.
And you're not taking into account, are you taking into account other people trying to get out of the town?
Yeah,
as
that's
well?
why I'm going through back roads. In fact, I am going on a bike path at one point.
Okay.
And then using a lot of gravel roads. I'm staying within Dubuque County, barely, but that's where I'm going. It's okay. Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right.
And I know exactly what I need to take as far as.
Do you have a go bag? Right.
I
now,
don't have
currently?
no.
So if this happens while we're podcasting, you're fucked.
No. Well, if it happens, right, solar flare
I'll
happens.
let you know. I'll let you
Well,
know.
no, then it's going to be okay, all right, I know you get this. Son 1, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this.
Do you have those ranked in order of responsibility?
Not
your children?
Yeah, I know who's capable of doing what. Okay.
All right.
All right. And it's I think we can get out the door within the hour with everything that it has any caloric value in also like tools that I would need.
Okay, so you started this off, and I'm only poking holes because I'm seeing holes.
Yeah.
Is that you said you could survive on the food you have in your house for a month?
Yes.
But you're talking about if the minute this happens, you're out the house within an hour. Are you taking the frozen food that you have on the road with you? How many coolers do you have?
Well, no, they can be. Well, that's the thing. Frozen food, as long as it's sealed in a package, right? It's got to thaw out, right? And then it will spoil. And that's the stuff
in about
you
a
eat
month's
first.
time.
Well, no, that's the stuff you eat first, and then you have all the dry goods. And listen, if I'm eating like shitty water flour pancakes with sprinkles in it, so I have a little extra sugars to help with caloric value, that I've got that as well.
I don't think sprinkles a nutritional value.
Well, no, it's not. It's not.
Like how many? Do you have a lot of canned food? Do you have a lot of?
I've got a lot of canned food. We've got a number of like I said, raw ingredients as well. And I'm just
happy I have the generator at my house.
You've got the generator, but that's the generators. It's a whole back and forth whether or not you got to fuel it. You've got to.
So what I would do is go out to a farm in Balltown, a friend of mine's place.
You can just say a farm.
Yeah, no,
fine.
Balltown, Iowa, it's gorgeous.
Balltown, Iowa, middle of nowhere.
It's pretty out in the middle of nowhere.
They have ponds with fish in it. They have They have gas like on site. They have.
Do they have gas or do they have farm diesel?
It's probably farm diesel, but
okay,
at
so
least that's something.
That's something.
They have wells. They have chickens, cows.
Right.
All that good
stuff. My chickens are a significant part of this. Like, so I've got my chickens. Right now I'm getting about 8 to 9 eggs a day.
But you don't eat eggs.
Yeah, I'll eat my eggs and I'll force my children to eat eggs if I need.
It's getting a lot of proteins there.
It's enough protein.
I think your children, don't take any offense to this, your children are a liability in this situation.
1,000%, especially the one who has seizures. That's the
how long?
That's the biggest.
That's where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, it's like
how long till you eat your children? That's the question.
I won't eat my children unless they die already.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just listen.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
I'll do it again. I don't know.
I'm just saying, no, that would be.
Do they know that?
And I'd hope they'd want to eat me for survival purposes.
You got to tighten that sentence up a little bit.
For survival,
there's too much of a gap.
For survival purposes, if it's between them dying or them eating my corpse,
gotcha.
I give the blessing to eat my corpse. Okay.
Right. And that's on the record.
That's on the record. You can take that to the bank. I don't think it has to be notarized.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, I don't think so.
No, I think
Okay.
And once we get out to where we're going, I should be able to make, hopefully, things work for maybe another 3 to 4 weeks after our food runs out. We'll see.
And then after that, it's just the great unknown.
Yeah, it's a huge unknown.
It's hard to plan.
Well, here's the deal. Agriculture is very difficult. Like being able to set up and cultivate crops is it takes time and you have to have seeds and all that stuff. Yeah.
How are you at killing squirrels?
I can kill a squirrel. Listen.
Do you have a gun?
I don't have a gun.
How are you killing these squirrels?
No, you throw a brick at them. Come on.
You got loose bricks too.
I got loose bricks.
You got loose bricks.
You know me.
Throwing bricks at squirrels.
Or hitting with a stick. It's a whole thing. You're
gonna hit squirrels with sticks and bricks.
Yeah, it stuns them. You go up, grab them. It's fine. Yeah.
Have you killed a squirrel with a stick or a brick?
I have not.
But you can.
Yeah, I've been able to strike a squirrel with a flip-flop plenty of times.
Is that stun them?
Yeah,
or?
It just pisses them off a little bit.
It pisses off the squirrel.
Yeah, but so if I had something heavier, it'd be.
I'm just picturing you dying in the woods from starvation, trying to throw ninja stars at fucking squirrel.
Your wife's just getting mad at you.
I don't have ninja.
You said you could do this. You said you could hit the squirrel with the brick.
I don't have.
Now we're out of bricks.
I don't have throwing stars.
For some reason, you're the person that I would expect to have throwing stars.
Yeah, one of your kids has throwing stars.
I've debated buying some in Japan. But
there it is.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Hold on, I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Oh, you have like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You have the like that.
Oh, sure, yes.
Sure, dude.
Yeah.
I'll get that.
So what about you, Bob? Are you saying that you're outlasting all of us? You got a
no.
Do you have a bag of rice hanging around somewhere?
I do. I mean, like you, we share the it's not prepper territory, but you know.
Yeah. I have debated buying like a 35-pound bag of rice.
Yeah.
And just having it.
I just opened ours up because I needed rice the other day, and we're out of rice. So I was like, guess I got to.
You got a 35-pound bag of rice?
It's what was it, 20-pound probably?
Okay.
Yeah, it was big. It's
a big bag. That's a big bag of rice.
It's too much rice, quite honestly. It'll last us.
Yeah, for 2 people. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll last us quite a while because we don't eat a lot of rice carb wise. I don't know. I don't think going is going to be nearly as safe as you think.
Yeah.
And that's fine because I could be completely wrong. I go more so into creating a bunker here in a fortress of solitude where, again, as soon as I kill Cole and I can get the generator, then I have that. So there's some level, like if I can figure out some kind of ventilation system.
See, I think what you want to do is build a group, though.
Yeah, and at first I would invite you over. And so you can come live
then
in the
eventually
basement.
kill me when the food runs out. Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to isolate yourself from as many people as possible. Don't get me wrong. Like I would trust you guys to come along with on my journey if you'd like. You're more than welcome.
It's not a time to make friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Also be like, what do you have?
Yeah.
Like, I'll let you in if you can, help sustain us for, like, if I come over with a generator and
You're going to probably be part of the group.
20, 30 cans of food, then...
Yeah, 20, 30 kids. That's nothing.
My go-to is not to kill you, Cole, and then steal your generator.
I wouldn't be
Or
mad.
steal the generator.
Getting out of town is important, and being able to be mobile is important.
See, but I think there's another side of that, though, where everyone's going to be wanting getting out of town, and everyone's going to be moving in a mass exodus, not only from our town, but from every city. I mean, it happened a little bit with COVID, which was interesting that, like, people in the cities, I was a real estate agent at the time, and the amount of people that moved from a big city to our town was insane.
Yeah, but I'm not moving to a town. I'm moving in the middle.
I know, but this is going to happen, though. People are going to mass migrate even more so out of this. And so your one spot that you have, and your spot, too, with your buddy and everything like that, makes sense for sure. But eventually, they're going to find you because we're talking a ton of people.
Right, yeah.
So
I'm not saying,
create...
And
to wait, hold on, just like to wait for it to blow over, and then hopefully like our area of town becomes like an abandoned part that no one like we've been picked over, everything we've survived the initial wake basically that we can kind of start to build anew. That would be, I think, the safest plan, but I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to want to be around any gas lanes that are blowing up. Okay. Because there's no fire department. Yeah. And that's, in the close proximity of houses, and you don't have to worry about your house necessarily because you're there to manage, it's the other people's house. It's your neighbor's house that it's going to catch on fire. And
I'll deal with that though. The primal human coming out and being desperate and looking for food and hungry, that I want to avoid at all costs.
Yeah, so you want to get away from as many people as possible.
But you're going to the place that everyone wants to go. Everyone wants to go to a place where no one's at.
Yeah, except for nobody knows it's there. Everybody's going to...
Nathan, I know you think no one knows it's there. People know it's there.
People know it's there. It exists.
You're going to run into people. And then you're going to run into, get the strangers too, that have a gun.
Yeah.
And they might be willing to just shoot you on sight. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay. I'm just not agreeing that you're right.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm going to be on rollerblades with 2 samurai swords.
You got 2 samurai swords?
Yeah.
Oh. Right now, you got 2 samurai swords.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And that's not, I don't think it's a horrible approach, rollerblades and samurai swords.
Sure. Hey, listen. When I see a dude with 2 samurai swords and rollerblades,
I'm crossing the street.
I'm walking the other way. 1,000%.
Yeah. It's just the speed and...
I would say go ahead and add smearing feces on your face as well, because that's going to really lock it in as far as don't want to fuck with this. A lot of nah.
A lot of nah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day.
Yeah. This could be a podcast.
Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We appreciate all the new YouTube subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Continue to comment and let us know other things you should be looking at. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And be sure to tell your friends, subscribe, pound that like button.
Yeah.
Really give it to her.
Yeah.
That like button.
Not her.
Is it, there's no gender on the like button?
No, or at least the YouTube algorithm is not gendered.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, either way, have a fun time. Use protection and tell your friends.